Hi, I'm Thelma of Seasonal Crafts and Creations, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you're new. Today on episode 26, we will be doing this canvas painting. This canvas came from the Dollar Tree. It's the kind with the sides. You'll have to put your hook on the back if you want to hang it, but it also looks real good sitting and leaning up against the wall on a mantle or a shelf. And the last episode that I had, I made some fabric pumpkins. They would look good going around it on a shelf. And without further ado, let's get started. I will tell you the paints I'll be using as I use them. Let me get my glasses on here. Okay. First, you will need some real brown for the background. And you'll want to do the sides too. You do the whole front and all the sides, and then we'll let it dry. Okay, I put 2 coats on it, letting each coat dry in between, and it normally takes about 2 hours to dry for each layer of paint that you put on. And make sure you, I didn't tell you, but put a paper towel under it unless you have a workstation that you can clean. Now it's time to draw the pumpkins. So with get some real brown paint, just a little in case you need it. Now get about this size of a paintbrush. There's no sizes on them, but comparing it to this size, the little one, you'll know. Now you take your white and you just start where you want your pumpkin to begin. And go back just in case. Now make your second pumpkin, and if it's too small, just go right back over it. If there's any thick, just go ahead and brush it, because we're going to be doing a lot of painting with the white. And then your top one. All you're doing is you're making like almost a complete circle. Alright, now get you some more white. Fill it in. And you can make these layers thick if you want to, because there's going to be a lot of painting on this. Go ahead and fill that in up. That way you know not to go all the way up there. Okay, now let's do the one in the center. and just make your make them like this on each side. Now do the top one. Now the first layer that you put on, you're just basically putting a primer coat, I call it, on, and then you start working to make your pumpkin shape. It's basically to cover up the dark brown. Okay, now get you just a little bit, some white and some real brown, and just mix it up with some territorial brown. Get a lot more white. Or you just mix it up. You mix it up like this. You get your white, you put in there one time, then you get you some territorial brown and put in there. That's give it a different texture and a different shade of brown. Okay, now just go like that. Get you some more. Do the center with it sideways. Now get you a lot of white with the territorial brown, that's the light brown, and we're going to make it real light for the next pumpkin. Got a little thick thing going on right there. If you ever get that, just take your brush and get it out and pick it out with your finger. Now the next one's going to be a mix of the light territorial, where it was lightened down with the white, with the real brown territorial and white. Just mix it in together. Get some of it off your paintbrush. Now make small. And this is only my second, since I started painting again. I haven't painted in over 15 years, but this is only the first painting that I showed you at the beginning was the first painting that I've done, and then this is the second one since I've been painting again. Okay, now wipe out your brush. Grab me some paper towels here. Wipe your brush. Now get you some white and just go back over put you a little bit, put you some of this territorial brown in it. At the end, put some of it in the white and mix it up like this. And see the real light shade it gives you the more white you mix in. Okay, now this is what we're going to do to paint the shade of the pumpkin. Just getting all the extra paint off. Now start here at the top. Go right to the brown. Turn your brush around. And continue on all the way down the way I showed you. Okay, and this is the end of painting it beige. Just make sure you go through, and you can shorten these lengths by covering it up with the light cream color that I've got going on here with my white and territorial beige. Just, if you want it shorter, just go through it like that. And remember, after you paint this, you need to let it dry before you start putting the greenery and the stems on. Fill in any little white that's sticking through. And get a little bit of the darker brown if it gets covered up. Okay, and so far, this is what yours should be looking like, unless you pick different colors to paint yours and blend in the colors. So it's got to dry before you can go any further. So I'll be back here in a few minutes after this dries. Well, while this is drying, we can be doing the streaks on. So what you do, you just use your colors here that you've blended, blend it in more. Make sure you blend it in real good. Get some of your territorial beige and put in there. Wipe your brush off, because while it's drying, you can be cleaning your brushes. But after, with this here that you just mixed up, take one of these small paintbrushes. You can see what, it doesn't have a size on it, or I'd tell you the size. So now you're painting the lines up and down. It doesn't have to be perfect, just however you want them. And all this has to dry now, the pumpkins and these lines, before we can add the ivy stem and the flowers on it. And you can do yours any way you want to. It doesn't have to be exactly like mine. And if you get too much paint, just dab it and use it to make another line. And you can also take some paper towels and just clean it up there. Wipe it off, because you're going at that little end there, after you put the line back on, we're going to touch it up with some dark brown, or no, real brown. If you want, you don't really have to if it doesn't bug you. And then you can put a little one if there's a little spots that's empty. Now, we let this dry before we put the ivy and the flowers on and the stem. Okay, and now that the pumpkin and the background is dry, we're going to work on the stem. You will need some light brown and some of this barberus. It's a lighter brown, if I can get it open. That color. You will need to mix them just a little bit, because all you're doing is making the stem. Show you how much once I get it on my palette here. It's having a hard time coming out. It cracked on the side. But all you need is just a little bit right here. I have to remember to throw that away. Now, use one of these type of paintbrushes. All you're doing is drawing a stem right up here, a small one, after you mix this colors up. You'll want it to be like this. Now get it off your brush as much as you can. And now just dip just a little bit. Now, draw your stem. Yours could be any way you make it. It could be just a stump. Let me get some more. Put 2 coats on it. That's while it's wet. This is what mine looks like, my stem. But yours could be just a stump if you want it. Okay, next you will need some of the, where is it? Spring green. It's apple barrel from Walmart, 50 cents a bottle. Now, first start right here next to the stem and just draw a little zigzag. And next you go down here, and you can make them any shape you want. Now do the same on the other side. Get you some more paint if it kind of misses in a spot. There. And then on down. Okay, now wipe your brush off because you might need this size again. Just get all the paint off, rubbing it back and forth on a napkin or a rag. Now, use your pink, and at the ends just make some flowers. Okay, now paint it in. Okay, this one we'll leave plain, and this one. Now this one we'll put a big flower right there. Make sure you paint it in. Okay, wipe the paint off your brush. For next color, we are going to be using King's Gold, apple barrel, 50 cents a bottle. or you can use a bright yellow. Okay, I already have the King's Gold. Now what you do, you just put it on. Do the same to the other flower. And that's what you do. You leave the other ones like this, or you can put flowers on them if you want to. Okay, I want to thank y'all for joining in today and watching the video. Back here behind me is the painting on the canvas that I just did with you all. I hope you like it. If you liked the video and the topic today, hit that thumbs up. That really helps my channel grow and lets YouTube know that people actually watch and grade my material that I do. And subscribe to my channel and leave a remark letting me know what you think about today's topic back there. And I hope y'all have a safe and happy day, and until next time.